If you opened up your own window, it'd be like 800 something.
Hey guys, Steven here, Fanatic Perspective, catching us in the middle of conversation because the software we're using and everything, we have a new sleek little setup here. Hopefully you guys can hear us okay. Just let us know if the sound is good because we're kind of sharing a mic here. So I want to make sure we are coming through clearly. Tran, you go ahead and say some stuff so we'll make sure we're
Yeah, just let me know if you hear anything. This is our first time in a long time doing it live together.
When's the last time we did a live together? It was pre-COVID.
It was definitely pre-COVID. It's been a long time, so just want to make sure that we have everything we need to make sure we have a good conversation.
People saying we coming through clear. Okay, so let's get right to it. Texas wins their season opener today. Texas 37-10 over the Rice Owls, and a lot we're going to break down and discuss here. Thank you guys for coming through in the chat. Appreciate it. You know, we're kind of the late night crew after you guys have been able to sober up a little bit and chill for a second. We can kind of dive into some of this stuff, right? And so I want to make sure, okay, I'm messing around with the comments here. Sure, I apologize. But yeah, we're going to dive into everything and try to share our thoughts. And one of the reasons why I like doing these lives is we get to compare notes, especially after we've sat on some things, thought on some things. Because when you're tweeting during the game or you're talking to your friend or whoever we all say some wild stuff during the games, right? And it's not the most sober of thought, whether you're drinking or not, but just in terms of everything that's going on.
It's emotional.
It's a very emotional experience. So now taking a step back, we get to kind of address some things. And there's a lot of good to discuss. I think that the vibe is weird right now. Also, I've had a very weird afternoon personally. I almost passed out at the game, after the game, I should say. I made it through the game like a trooper. Shout out to my boy Kyle that came with me and Tran and everybody. I almost passed out. The heat was unbelievable. I tried, brothers try to stay hydrated, but when I walked back, and I had maybe a beer or two today. It was a lot of water. A lot of water today. It was.
We even had a liquid IV too.
Yeah, all that, and still almost hit the pavement. So very blessed to be here. My phone went down. Trying to fix my phone. So anybody that's been trying to reach me, I'm sorry. Hopefully, I can get back to you after this because the phone is working now. So if I did reply to you, it was via the Apple Watch. So Tran, your ingenuity is, forever grateful for it, man.
I'm really good at YouTube. Stuff from YouTube.
All right, let's talk about football. So I want to say this, just blank thoughts, right? A lot of good stuff today, especially on the defensive side of the ball. Speed, the communication, the finishing ability, the turnovers, the aggressiveness, the physicality. It's a lot of good defensively as I look back at this. I think there's some things that we can absolutely clean up offensively. I think there's some things from a playmaker standpoint that you see that are clear in terms of guys that have the ability to be special with the football when they get it and when it's in their hands. I'm going to be very blunt. I see some red flags on the offense. I know some people are going to agree with me. Some people are going to disagree with me. I see some glaring red flags, regardless of Rice, regardless of if you want to sit up here and tell me we were trying to be vanilla today, if you want to sit up here and tell me it was rust, all of these things. Execution's execution. If you're running your base stuff needs to look good because that's your base stuff, right? I would expect that we can properly seal something or know where we're going with the football or be better under situational circumstances. So I'm not really here for some of the excuses, but I'm going to get to some of the red flags that I saw today that I don't know are fixable per se versus some of the things that I think, we got to clean up. You talk to me, man. Where's your head at right now?
My head is at like I know because you and I have spoke a little bit about what your red flags are, so I know you're going to dive into that. But personally, me, it's always tough to play a first game. I mean, and especially if it's a team that you're going to dominate. I know everyone's going to say things like, "Hey, this is college football. You got to show up every single week, et cetera, et cetera." But we have to look at it from this perspective too. This lens is that we dominated a team playing probably about a C or D game average, and you and I have spoken about it in previous years where like we're not good enough to do that. Well, it seems like now we can do that, but we won't be able to do that for long once the schedules tier start the higher tier gets stronger. But I think that will also get our full time attention. One thing I noticed was defensively we're a very good defensive team. I mean, I saw the communication aspect of it, which was awesome to see. It wasn't just one person talking and making checks. It was everyone looking at each other and making sure everyone knew what they were supposed to do. We're a fast defense. There was one play I remember where it was kind of like an end around where normal teams probably they run that play against, they'll get like 7 or 8 yards. They got 2 yards. I think Jadae Barron reacted to it very quickly and shut it down to 3 yards. We had 2 turnovers. We forced 2 turnovers, sorry, and then we forced a fourth and 1. I think in our preview, I said, I'd like to see if we got it down to
Actually,
4th and 1.
because Jet Bush.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's right. You Jet, that's right. So they did everything from a defensive standpoint that I was looking for on the first game. Offensively, there's a lot of misses. It didn't look very crisp, very sharp. Passes were not completely on target. Communication between the receiver or connection between the receiver and the quarterback weren't always there. But then again, he did pass for 280 plus yards, I believe.
I mean, we got to be careful with the box score.
I know, but
we got to be careful with the. All right, but before we get to that, right? Because I think you're gonna, we're gonna debate this a little bit. We're fans. We think we're seeing it through a different lens after we've talked a little bit. I want to get to the super chats here and some of the comments just as people are talking because I'm seeing a lot of stuff. I'm seeing a lot of stuff in here. So, hey, Michael Short, thank you for the donation. Glad the O made the second half adjustments. Unfortunately, it looks like the deep ball still eludes Quinn. Those are all facts. They actually, good thing they came out and you could tell that in the second half they weren't the prettiest drives, but they got in the end zone. I'll leave it at that. But you're right. The deep ball continues to be an issue here at Texas. There's, we can talk about ball tracking. We can talk about all these different things. Again, I'm going to address that when I start talking about some of the red flag stuff. I'm not going to do it right this second, but we'll get there. Isaac, I'm with you here. Because I think we should just go down position groups after we get through some of these comments. But the defensive intensity from our young guys today, Tran, the communication was really, really good. I saw so many different combinations of guys in there. And it didn't seem like they were at a loss you didn't see anybody not knowing what they were doing. Everybody knew their assignment. They played fast. They played physical. I was really impressed with Derek Williams. I was really impressed with Malik Muhammad, defending on an island at times. I was really impressed with, Anthony Hill and his ferocity. He's going to learn a lot of football from a pass coverage standpoint. They let him play on the edge a little bit. Yeah. They let him play off ball. They were just rotating in so many different young guys. Leona Leifau stood out to me at times with some of his work when he came in there for Jalen Ford. But then we would sub Jalen Ford back in on third downs and third and longs, and he would show out. And obviously, he got a really nice interception on that 3rd and 15. I I was just overall impressed with the communication across the board, the defense, the professional effort, and like I said before, fast, physical. They didn't, any bust, they cleaned it up right away. This is really good communication. I think that helps take your defense a long way. Um, let's see here. But by the way, while you guys are coming in here, hit that like button. The whole bit. We want to continue to grow this platform and this stuff. And very thankful I get to do this sitting next to you again and have this show. Jordan S. Well, sometimes you have to call the baby ugly. That looked like. Hold on, where am I at? My bad.
They're trying to be vanilla.
Yeah. Trying to be vanilla. O-line looked bad. A.D. Mitchell cannot block at all. Quinn still can't throw a deep ball. Hey, Jordan, thank you for the donation, first and foremost. I need to go back to the tape to see where I'll start here. Anything on the perimeter blocking, that's going to be tough since we were both at the game. I'm going to defer to the tape there to say, people were whiffing. The one I know the one Mitchell block you're talking about probably is when Jordan Whittington got lit up and he I don't know if he tripped or if he just didn't, if he missed his assignment or what. It almost ended up being a disastrous play, but Jay Wood just caught it and took a loss. But yeah, he missed his block. And Xavier Worthy, on the other hand, I saw Xavier Worthy blocking his ass off on the perimeter several times.
That was a knock against him last year. So.
Which people question effort and all these things from him. He was physical. I thought he was actually more physical than I've seen him in some time when he caught the ball and was trying to run downfield. The deep ball stuff with Quinn, we'll get to that in the red flag. Just some of that, but Jordan, thank you, man. Appreciate it. Let's see here. Why do you say Tran with the mental gymnastics? Because he was more positive? Y'all, see, that's the thing. Y'all.
Who said that?
So Marlon said you're playing mental gym. Long time subscriber, Marlon, here.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody has their opinion. This is something we'll get to when we talk about the position groups because there's some interesting business going on here, and I don't know all of the backstory. And unfortunately, CJ Baxter went down, right? If anybody has an update, again, we were at the game. I came back and Trent had to recuperate me with ice and water and stuff. So I haven't actually gotten any updates. All I heard was a collarbone.
Yeah.
I kind of figured he wasn't going to come back. I'll just say this. I was really impressed with Jaden Blue. I thought he had juice every single time he touched the football. And that's something I look for. He was making a shake out there. The brother put his head down on the sideline. I was sitting on that sideline when he put his head down and ran through somebody, even though he didn't have anything there. Keelan's Keelan. I mean, that's the role he plays for us. I think sometimes we ask him to do things that are
out of his wheelhouse, run between the tackles.
On 3rd and 4.
Yeah. That's
not what he does. And the result was disastrous because we went forward on 4th and 1 and didn't get it. That was with Jonathan Brooks, to be fair. It wasn't Keelan that ran that 4th and 1, but regardless, that goes back to many of the comments about the offensive line and the struggles there. But the running back situation, whether there was promises or blah, 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 that's TBD. No, I'm going to get to it. Trust me, y'all. I'm trying to get a feel for the comments here. Because when you have no phone after a game, I literally am like, other than us talking and the few people around me, I have no idea how people feel about this game. Other than how people felt in the stadium.
Well, you get to get it live right now.
So, Danny Juarez, factual statement here. If you did not watch this football game and you looked at the box score, outside of you would probably be surprised, Texas only scored 37. You'd probably say that. The 10 for Rice, predictable. But when you look at, we didn't have any turnover. I mean, we had a turnover on downs, but we didn't have any actual turnovers or turning the ball over. You brought up Quinn's yardage. We actually ran for 158 yards. It was 4 yards a carry. It wasn't great, but it wasn't horrendous. Xavier Worthy had 90 yards. There's some things that look good on the box score. If I'm grading, I'm going to start to be real here. If I'm grading this offense, that was a D performance for me, in my opinion, from what I saw today. And that includes, I mean, I'm being dead serious because of the opponent and because of how they were playing Texas and the lack of execution and understanding what is coming with some other opponents. To me, that was a D. I thought the defense was an A, and I gave the special teams a B there just because they had a few mistakes that cost them there. But for me, and somebody may say, if you want to say I'm being harsh, damn it, we said we're going to be 10-2 this year, and we're trying to win the Big 12, and we're trying to send 8 to 10 people to the NFL draft. Go watch all of college football, guys. And it's not about trying to show out in week one and make us. It's about executing and like our defense did. Did you see anything defensively that we ran that was exotic?
Not really.
Right? Did you
Not really.
where we were dialing up all this stuff to confuse Rice, or were we just lining up and playing football?
Basically lining up.
So why do I have a different standard for the offense? Somebody else stated in the comments here incorrectly that our offensive line there's no excuses for the offensive line. The only new person in there as a starter is DJ Campbell.
Man, he started like 3 games last year.
He played, yeah. but that's as much experience as you can ask for at this level. And to be coming up short on 4th and 1s, to come out and go for it to start the game and have a turnover on downs and immediately you have to concede 3 points, it's a D performance for me. Mm-hmm. I'm holding on to a different grade this year based upon your goals and your expectations. If we're trying to be 8-4, I'll give you a C+. If you want to play 8-4 football, sure. Some of us are trying to win championships. And we have to hold ourselves to a completely different standard. And if it's harsh, it's harsh. I don't give a damn. This is my opinion. I'm gonna get to my red flags in a second, but like the whole like, oh, we gotta treat stuff like, I understand first game nerves. I understand the heat. I understand rotating in guys. But so many of the things that plagued us last year that held us back from being in Arlington last year, we saw it immediately today against an opponent that wasn't very good. And we have a very, very serious test next week. And if you go in there playing that type of football in Tuscaloosa next week, good luck, offense. That's my 2 cents, Trent. I'm gonna read some comments. I'll let you reply to this.
Reply to me. It's just like, especially with coaching kids, is like I've seen kids play down to the level of competition. I've seen it firsthand, where it's a 1 possession game and it shouldn't be a 1 possession game.
Sure,
I've seen it. So I mean, humans have that ability to do that. And I know it's no excuse for execution because, like you said, that's what you're here for. You got to hold your health. You're not good enough, or you haven't proven historically that you're good enough to just be able to turn it on just like that. So take every rep for what's granted. But I mean, the way I'm looking at it is like we've got to win. It's the first game of the year. I would rather us be peaking at the right time than worry about us running up 54 points against Rice. That's just my personal
That's
thing.
Fair. So how do you? I mean, but if you work on something, you spend majority of your time working on something all week. As a coach, shouldn't you come into the game thinking that's, if anything else, I know we can do this and this. Like, if you're the Texas offense, I'm asking you, Tran, what do you hang your hat on? What's your offensive identity?
It used to be give it to Bijan and go. But we don't have that anymore, and we saw how much of a loss he was today. But I think right now the offense, they're trying to build the identity around the passing game, and it's rough right now. It's was very shaky. It could have been much better. It could have been way worse at the same time, but it definitely could have been better. And one thing one thing that you and I have discussed already is that there are a lot of fixable issues.
Yes.
So
Yes.
that's where you don't want to go into a week, especially like Alabama, with man, we rock that shit. We don't you don't want to go in that you want a whole bunch of, hey, this is unacceptable, this is unacceptable, this, and then you have punishment for it, and then you work on those until you're ready to go. That's the way football is that you work hard Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, rest, and then you're peaking and understanding everything that you want to execute on Saturday. And I'm glad that we finally got that live on live action. I'm glad
True.
it was against a inferior opponent, so it didn't make us start off the year with it with a upsetting feeling. But I mean, we got to take the good with the good, because we won the first game. That should be the first goal for every single team. Win your first game, then your next big goal is to win your conference. Then hopefully you're good enough to be in the playoffs. That's the way your thought process should be.
So I want to be fair in what I'm saying here. So because I'm going to mention, I think we need to have a conversation about what we deem fixable and what are red flags. To me, are I don't have an answer to this
Yeah.
question, or it could be personnel change, or it could be this is just going to be a weakness. Every team has weaknesses. This is football, right? Like, there's nobody that's just out here perfect. Like, people are going to have weaknesses. Some of the things to me that are fixable, and I kind of saw it throughout the game. I think at certain times Sark called some of his normal beaters, whether it was wheel routes or certain things where he knows guys can get comfortable. And somebody brought up AD Mitchell's block or whatever, but we still execute bubble screen really well. I mean, screen in general. I mean, the throwback screen we had, Jonathan Brooks, was good and timely. Now, in terms of cleanup, I think we can do a better job of communication on the offensive line.
Mm-hmm.
That's something, again, I want to watch the film, and you're not going to pick up everything first watching the stadium or watching at home on TV. So it's going to take a couple rewatches to really understand some of the issues there. I think some of the things that are fixable is you need to get Jatavian Sanders involved in the game plan a lot earlier than you did today. That's fixable, in my opinion. I thought somebody said Dimple Wonder on here talking about excellent legit all game. I thought the receivers, for the most part, there may be some couple times they didn't track the ball great or jump too early, but I didn't see any drops. They looked clean. They played with great physicality. They all ran physical with the ball after the catch. They looked explosive to me. I saw guys getting open downfield.
Mm-hmm.
And, Worthy looked like a good number one receiver to me. Like, he looked like I know it's Rice, but he looked like how he should look against Rice. Where I'm starting to get to the red flags with the quarterback, Quinn Ewers in particular, the lack of athleticism is a problem. I don't know how to solve that problem. What do I mean by that? Am I saying he needs to be out here running zone read like Jalen Milroe or running all over the place? Absolutely not. Quinn's straight line running, I think he's not slow. He's actually pretty fast. Like, so a few times he was in man coverage. They were man coverage, defense backs return,
He
step
took
up
off. Yeah.
decisively and runs. He can run. My issue with him is his mobility in and out of the pocket. He is a below average athlete to me. And that is very concerning in 2023, this level of football. I got an edge rusher, and this is something that quarterbacks work on consistently, is the ability to reverse pivot out of the pocket. It's a quick spin and get to the side. He trips over himself. This is I'm not trying to beat the guy up, right? But this is just the scouting that I'm personally looking at, right? I don't see his ability to just fluidly, even on the run, whether it's a bootleg situation or anything going towards the sideline where it's like, I just don't see that athleticism to be able to generate to advance the ball. And to me, it's a problem. Because now I start to ask, I'm like, are you just an arm? Are you a step? Like, does it have to be so clean? I don't like his mechanics at times when the guys get around him. He looks finicky. Thought he did a better job in the third quarter. Okay. And we've seen Quinn look good. We have seen him look good in the Texas uniform before. But the lack of athleticism in and out of the pocket, and it comes to mobility or just understanding how to move, is a concern for me. That's a red flag that I don't know how to fix.
You can't. That's the truth of the story. Is like you can't fix that. It's something that's it's just instinct. It's instinctual. It's something that you're able to do. You're able to handle. I mean, you could do a whole bunch of balance drills and things like that just to keep his hips above him. But he's got to do that. It's nothing like you can fix it, or the
Or
train,
Sark,
yeah, or Sark
or
can fix. Yeah,
Millie, right?
it's something he has to do. He has to put in the extra time to do that. It's kind of like some kid who's slow in high school. You're not going to train that kid to be like a 4.4 runner. Like if he's slow in high school, and you're not going to train that. It's something it's just inherited in them. Um, you have. I truly believe that he's the best quarterback that we have on campus right now, from an arm talent and understanding the whole playbook right now. I know people are going to start drooling over Malik Murphy right away because of the couple passes that he had. He had some zip on him. But once again, it was when the defense was tired and it was against the B team. And he is not a B team player. That kid's a starter. He's a starter somewhere else. So I mean, it's something like you're not going to be able to change that. We're gonna
Yeah,
have
because Malik doesn't have
yeah,
experience.
he doesn't have
That's the thing.
yeah.
He doesn't have experience. Today he took his first snaps as a Texas quarterback. Arch Manning did not get in the game today.
Mm-hmm.
He is yet to take snaps.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is, we've invested time into Quinn. I'm judging Quinn on a different
Yeah,
grading scale.
of course, you
I'm
should.
not judging Quinn on last year's grading scale. So when I judge Malik, I'm judging Malik as somebody who hasn't played, who made their college football debut today, right? I'm judging Quinn as somebody who played in this Sark offense last year. Because here's the thing, somebody mentioned this in the comments. If you're gonna have movement issues, you're gonna have pocket navigation issues, I need you to be accurate on your deep balls. You can't be missing all the stuff downfield, and you're not very mobile from a standpoint of, again, not running around downfield. I'm talking, you guys that know ball know exactly what I'm talking about. In the pocket, navigation, keeping your eyes downfield, feel somebody's on your back, spitting out of it. You see all these guys. If you're Caleb, all these guys, right? And some of them are great athletes, and some of them aren't. I see Mac Jones. Mac Jones has good footwork. That stuff matters in the context of a game. And so I think the other issue that I also see is what type of throws and what scenario are we trying to execute? So 8 seconds before the half, you're leading AD Mitchell almost out of bounds, but you're leading him upfield instead of throwing the ball to High Point. If you watched Colorado today against TCU, one of the things that Shedeur Sanders executed over and over and over again was high pointing when he had a guy one on one, specifically Travis Hunter, who he knows he's bigger than, throwing a ball it's like basketball, right? And you have a big man on a little guy, and it's like, dude, the lost art of throwing a post entry pass. That's how you have to throw that ball. You're not throwing that thing, chucking that thing. And so that's where I'm also like, I have questions from a football IQ standpoint because I question your natural football IQ. In that situation, you should know how to throw that football, not leading somebody out of bounds and throwing it anticipatory. That's not an anticipatory throw. That's AD Mitchell's like a back. Throw that shit back shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Let him go and moss that guy. Let's try to get a pass interference. Don't. There's time, and then when you need to lead somebody, aka X, or other guys that have separation, that's when you lead them. You have to have different tools in your tool belt as a quarterback or a pitcher. You can't just throw the ball for the sake of throwing the ball. And I need to see better, just general awareness to get to where we want to go. I know I sound harsh, I know I sound harsh, but these things, they pop up today. They will bite you against Alabama. They will bite you when you play some of the better teams. Michael Penix, they bringing up your Heisman. Michael Penix, look at his deep throws. They all hitting people full stride. I mean, it's we and here's the thing, Tran. Quinn Ewers was a prospect that had been lauded in the same breath as all of these other guys, right? And ranked above most. He was ranked above Drake May. He had a better overall rating than Caleb Williams and all these other people. So don't get mad at me when I want to compare him to those guys and grade him to the standard. If we want to go to where we want to go, he got to play better. I don't think you can fix the athleticism thing. I think he can fix. I hope he can fix the awareness of how to throw some of these passes. I think short and intermediate, he's fine. I think he actually can be really, really good short and intermediate. But you've played too much football with Xavier where you'll still be missing on open stuff, and it's not X to me anymore. I'm sorry. It has been at times. We know about the drops, but to me, that's not even an opponent or that's just executing and doing your stuff, man. Somebody's wide open, hit them.
Yeah.
That's not about being vanilla or we're not trying to miss deep balls on purpose so that we can complete them against Alabama. Who does that? Nobody prepares.
Unless Sark is a genius.
I know you got. Some people may think I'm beating up on him. I'm not. I'm not ready to say he's not that guy. He can't do all these things. I'm not ready to say that. Let me keep up with the chat. I'm not ready to say all that. All I'm saying is there's some definitive weaknesses that are hurting our offense that Sark either needs to figure out or it's going to be an issue. This is also a red flag.
It's twice. It happened twice.
This is a red flag. Look, there's a lot. I think you mentioned Bijan earlier when I asked you earlier about the identity of the offense. And you're right. Tran, you're right. That was our identity. It was Bijan,
Yeah.
Roshan, and they were special.
Yeah.
But I want to say this, and my unfiltered guys, I'm filming with the unfiltered guys early next week. So those of you who've been asking where Rashawn and Chris are, you'll see them soon. You guys got in, some of you, not you guys, some of you got into it in the comments with Chris because Chris made a comment that we were not a good run blocking team last year. And people got mad when he said it. And what did we see today?
Terrible run blocking. Terrible run block. Even the runs that we had, like, we popped ones, they were still hit. They just broke out of the tackle. like the CJ Baxter one, he got hit behind the line of scrimmage. And he broke it and he busted it out. Same thing with Blue. He that one that you were talking about where he trucks some dude. It was them making the most of it. So I agree with you.
These are just things he was just trying to bring up as concerns, right? Like, hey, and there's a reason why we had shuffles on the offensive line and trying to get the best five out there that Kyle Flood. I thought we would rotate more. Maybe I was misled there. I thought we would see more guys. I mean, we went jumbo. Malik Agbo was out there a lot with the jumbo stuff. But you just don't see, especially in short yardage situations. That's why we had to be so reliant early last season. For those that don't remember RoCat, we had to resort to tactics and tricks and packages to pick up short yardage. We could not just line up and hand the football off. And you're seeing it again already. So that's a red flag at this point because it was a problem last year. The thing is you had elite runners that could just jump cut their way out of any problem or if you're Roshan, just grown man people sometimes.
Yeah.
But that doesn't address the fact that we weren't executing our assignments within the confines of running the ball. I'm not look. We're not going to overact on the whole team because as good as impressed as disappointed as I am with the offense is as impressed as I am with the defense. And I know there's guys on offense that can play. I saw Jonte Cook run one time with the ball in his hands to know that he's electric.
Yeah.
I told y'all Xavier Worthy looks like our receiver one. A.D. Mitchell got his first Texas touchdown today. Isaiah Nayor came back. Jordan Whittington. Like, we got guys.
You forgot Jatavian Sanders.
Well, I said earlier he needs to get more involved.
Yeah. No. I mean, just now. It's
gotcha.
It's like you saw what he did when he just had that little slip, the little seam route that he had. What he did, he just barely like tapped the little poor safety.
Boy, all right. No smoke, bro. He wanted no smoke.
he made himself a business decision when he saw him running out. He was like, "Coach, I got stiff on. I don't know what to tell you."
Diving at legs. Oh man. No. I'm getting caught up here. I'm actually rooting. How is there very little growth? I saw some growth in the spring game, I thought, but today he didn't play well. I will say this. This is one positive I will give to Quinn. I do think it means something, and I think it's a good sign on his character that as poorly as he played in the first half, he played bad in the first half. Mm-hmm. I don't care what anybody says. I don't care. You could go listen. There's so many awesome Texas YouTube channels now. Go subscribe to all of them. You can listen to whoever you want to listen. My opinion is he played like ass in the first half. I'm going to say it, okay? Where I give him credit, and I say this all the time with athletes, and Lando's in here, he's great with the sports psychology element of it. How do you respond to adversity? Taking care of your mental. What happened? How do we address it? And I do think that he came out sharper. He wasn't perfect in the third quarter, but he actually played more decisively. You could tell, okay, this is somebody who's run this offense before.
Does that give you – so after we started talking about that, when we spoke about them actually having something – having something to learn from in film study, do you think you're excited for that, to see him actually make a jump or make a change and be prepared out the gates as opposed to have to make in-game changes?
Hold on, I'm sorry, I got distracted because every time Quentin sends a super chat, I didn't look at it and I posted it, and I always get scared whenever he sends something.
Why
Thank
is that?
you for the money, because Quentin be trying to get us demonetized.
For real?
On the low. I appreciate you.
While giving you money? He's like trying to demonetize?
No, he's hilarious. Nah, look. We this is what we got now. Plus, Shador belongs with his father, Coach Prime, his brother, Shiloh. Shout out to the Colorado Buffaloes defeating the TCU Horned Frogs up in Fort Worth, national champ runner-ups. No, everybody, look, you want to talk about nobody believe in us energy? They harness their energy, and they look very well coached today. I was very, very impressed with Coach Prime. I bet on Colorado today for the culture.
Just money line?
Money. I was like, you know what? F it.
Or I would have definitely taken that
the minus 21.
The minus 21.5.
I said, screw it. I like Coach Prime, but I haven't bet a whole lot of money, but just a few bucks. Hey, for the culture.
True.
They've been hating on you, my brother. They've been hating on you, HBC bros. Said you can't play at this level. So they summoned a lot of that energy, and what I liked about them is that they played within themselves. They weren't too amped up. They were executing.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what I need to see from Texas offensively. I saw it from Texas defense. Texas defense was flying around, but they weren't overly aggressive. They weren't getting PIs. They weren't jumping off sides all over the place. You know how sometimes you play defense, so you know this better than I do, where the defense can be too amped up. And it's like, yo, can we chill? Can we be disciplined? I saw them play with great energy, but with great discipline as well, defensively. I think that's very encouraging.
I will say this: we should not put Benda in coverage ever.
We got to work with my brother here, man,
Yeah.
because we're going to need him to play some
Yeah.
coverage because Blackwell's out. I mean, they mixed in a lot of guys today, but not everybody can run. Like Jeb Bush, we're putting him at the edge a lot. We had him back there a few times, but you're not going to ask Jeb Bush to carry somebody across the field. That's a mismatch. David Bennett just has to improve, and and ID those things quicker. I think when he's in the game with Jalen Ford, Jalen can help him with that. But when he was in there with Leifau, I need you to pick it up.
He's the older.
Yeah, he's older.
He's the older. He's supposed to be.
Yes. So this is something we got to also keep in mind. Yes, it did get better. However, also I have a question for the chat because I didn't. I haven't checked in with anybody. So please, did anybody know did Cole Hudson play? Was he not available? Because I noticed Neto came in when DJ Campbell got hurt. Neto came in and went to left guard, and Hayden Connor went to right guard.
Yep.
Instead of Cole Hudson. So they rather have done 2 adjustments than just bring in Cole Hudson. Does anybody understand why that happened? Also, did Cole Hudson play? And I missed it. And 54 was out there, and I didn't see it. Because I don't think he played. I saw Neto come in there, and then they flopped him, and I thought that was interesting that they flipped 2 people instead of
Cole didn't play. That's what Quinn said.
Interesting.
Is it, though? Is it?
Jaden Blue might get a game ball from me. I know how mad I am at the offense right now because I want them to be at that all gas, no brake standard. By the way, shout out to Mike Murphy. Last name.
Hat's clean, by the way, Mike. The hat is clean.
Mike dropped this off with us today, this new Texas hat. So if you guys are looking for some gear, like I said, for the season, Big 12 play last season, we flexed on everybody. Head up laststandhats.com/fanatic. Let me bring up that little promo code there, Fanatic10. I'll let that ride for a little bit. But yeah, I thought Jaden Blue really impressed me today. And people forget, when you talk about put some respect on my name, that guy was at one point, a number one running back in the country.
Mm-hmm.
It was more opt-out, team-related, things with coaches, blah, blah, blah. Nobody never said he couldn't play football.
Yeah.
He has juice. He makes a shake. I don't know what it is, but he got in the game and people were on skates. And he saw in the spring game. So all I'm saying is I've seen the brother now twice in DKR, and I like what I see.
But I think that's what we said at the beginning of the season is like the way we have to replace a generational talent like Bijan is we have to do it by running back by committee, and we saw four different running backs touch the ball. And we just got to find a rhythm between them, and I trust Rashard Choice to figure that out.
I agree.
So it's the first game once again, and I know we're not trying to make excuses or anything like that, but they'll figure it out. He's got new toys he's got to play with, and you got to play with them to see which ones you like the best.
Buddha, shout out to Buddha.
What happened?
I think Buddha's an LSU fan, so you got a big one tomorrow night, I believe. Hopefully, we're trying to not just make it competitive. We're trying to get it back in blood. This is a team that we should have beat. We felt like we should have beat last year, but we know how we need to look in all facets of the game. It's called being buttoned up. Again, I don't care what plays you're running. Yes, they have a script for Bama. We know that they got stuff that they will roll out there specifically to attack. Kevin Steele and what Nick Saban wants to do and all that. At the end of the day, if you're running a go route, the goal is what? To complete it.
Mm-hmm.
There's no this isn't, if the goal is to run outside zone, if I'm saying, hey, we're going to call this zone stretch to the left, the goal is to get to where you're supposed to get to. Get on your man. If people are flying through holes and you're not getting to your blocks, I don't want to hear about play calling. That's an execution problem. Or you got the wrong personnel on the field. If people are getting through our double teams and we're not able to run duo and again, we got to look at the film. But I'm just giving examples. then it's not about play. I shouldn't have to run a gadget play on 4th and 1 against Rice to get a first down. Is that fair? Is that fair? If we are who we say we were,
I just wish you wouldn't.
I don't care if it sounds disrespectful. They stink. We should be running. They stink. We should be running all over these guys, man. What are we talking about?
I mean, when you put it like that, I mean,
What are we talking about?
I don't know. Was this true? I saw like a meme where it had Sark saying, like, no disrespect to Rice, but like our season starts at Alabama or something like that. Did he say that, or was that just someone just messing around and sending me that? Something to that regard.
I don't think he said
Okay.
that.
I was like, that sounds just like stupid.
We have way too many weapons on offense not to be able to convert for one, but O-line looking bad against Rice means we have some ways to go. Yeah. This is an offensive line. Look, how many people, raise your hand if you were on the O-line and you started your first game against Rice today. There was only one person that can raise their hand. As far as I'm concerned, everybody else has played at least 12 games. Started 12 games. Yet, again, these are things that are fixable, but they're annoying, right? So, Jake Majors, pre-snap penalties yet again. And you were at the top of the list in the Big 12 last year somewhere with those penalties. Hayden Connor getting penalties. I think he had a face mask penalty in it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Like, those are things it's like, hey, you guys had problems with that last year. Kind of clean it up. Like, and that's not even us, like, cherry picking on the refs or stuff like that, right? We know where the calls are BS calls, right? Like that, but those are things where we know our guys too. We know we had problem with snap infractions last year. We know we had problem with pre-snap penalties last year. We know we had problem with Hayden Connor sometimes getting unnecessary roughness penalties on occasion. Gotta clean those things up in year 2. Y'all played enough football. I don't care who the opponent is. I want you to look good. Like this isn't not even like you guys look. They didn't even look average at times.
Yeah.
Too many times in a game. Compared to Jalen Ford being buttoned up on the other side. That's not fair to Jalen Ford. That's not fair to Alfred Collins.
Alfred Collins had a fantastic game.
Did you see Alfred Collins today? Did you see how he handled Blue Leg?
I love.
Oh my goodness!
I love the fact that the reports of camp weren't lying about him. That's finally just like clicking for him, and it showed today.
Look, that's the other thing too. So Danny could be worse right now. Agree. That's a bad loss. Agree. I will say this. We talk about these things, right? I don't want to hear that, and then you go and drop a game to Baylor. Then,
Yeah.
if these or like if TCU, these teams are going to get better, and you know how they play Texas.
Yeah. Especially since it's the last year in the Big 12.
You know how
everyone's.
That's why I'm like, all right, yeah, they look bad today, but some of this stuff again is also on us, regardless of opponent. We cannot connect on it yet again today. In the Quinn Ewers era, since he's been the starting quarterback, we have yet to complete a pass over 50 yards. Our longest play today was 44 yards.
Was that the
Sanders touchdown? It was the Sanders touchdown.
What was the Jonathan Brooks one?
37-yard screen pass. And then we had a 44-yard. We have not completed a 50-yard pass in his era of being his longest completion as a Texas starter is the Casey Kane Hail Mary in the Washington Bowl game. I'm not even joking. And the one deep ball that I can think of off the top of my head was the Bama game that he did hit on Worthy. And again, it's not every single missed deep ball is his fault. No, that's not right. I'm not going to put that on him. But today, and for the trend to, it's going to be a thing until they start hitting on him. Especially because of the nature of Sark's offense is built around these shot plays and executing some of this stuff. Oh, you know who else I liked today? I thought Ethan Burke did a really good job. I liked Ethan Burke today. He could have had 2 sacks. He fumbled the bag on the second sack.
Yes, he did.
He got excited.
Dude spun out on him.
What he did? What, Trent?
Spun out.
So that's something that quarterbacks do. They can spit out of it.
Well, JT Daniels is just an athlete, though.
How much does JT Daniels weigh? I know I'm a thick boy too, man.
I don't know, bro.
You know, he was looking rough out there too.
Well, he is like almost in the mid-30s now.
Man, we got commit to our weight loss goals, man. Stress will do it to you. All right, what else we got here?
What did he
say? Comment.
What did he say?
Those fronts. So guys showing. Look, again. Then what's the point of having all this damn experience? And that's a Kyle Flood thing, too, right? What do our eyes tell us, guys, and how do we communicate it? I get it. This is. I mean, we. Not everybody. You can't. I mean, you can't just keep using. It's a reason. But that's where you gotta. You know. Michael had another super chat. Thank you. See you here, man. Also, please hit the like button. Help us grow. Sark's scheme doesn't suck. No, that's not true. That's not true. So some of y'all. Some people are saying Cole played. Some people are saying Cole was out. Are we spreading misinformation on the channel? Sark said he had a minor. Thank you. I missed that. I was traveling the other day, so thank you.
So a minor injury.
You said that he played.
A minor injury, yeah.
Hey, that's what Sark said, man.
Hey, I believe everything a coach says. Baylor trash. Okay, stay trash. This is just going down the Big 12.
Oh, man. Y'all are hilarious. All right, Matthew Miller.
See, this is real comment, real paid comment.
Y'all are hilarious, man.
Who would have thought C. Jones would be the best?
All right. My bad. Who would have thought Christian Jones would be our best O-lineman 2 years ago? Sark said Cole was banged up. Thank you. Quinn did look better, but he reads the D slowly. That sounded
what she said. No, so I don't think that Christian Jones is our best offensive lineman. I still think Kelvin holds that, but he is. Our ends are our tackles are great. I mean, I have no issues. It's the interior play. It's our like you said, we can't have a false start on the center just by him like moving the ball like an idiot. Like you can't do that. You have to have that discipline. There's getting pressure up the side. The only time, not up the side, but up the middle. But the only times that they got pressure up the on the side or on the ends of the tackle were when they brought an extra person. That's the only time that I saw that. Like for example, on one of the, correct me if I'm wrong, but on one of the 4th and 1s, Jonathan Brooks got. I mean, it was a great tackle by I think it was a corner that came on a corner blitz on him and just grabbed him up, wrapped him up on his legs, and that's how he stopped.
Yeah.
So I mean, it was the tackle was handling his responsibility. We just didn't hand the ball off fast enough. Sark said Cole was banged up. Okay, we got that. Quinn looked better. Reads the D slowly. Yeah.
There's just a lack of decisiveness at times. Sometimes I think when Quinn sees it, he's really good, And I want, people talk about going through your progressions and whatnot, but part of going through your progressions is navigating that through traffic. Quarterback is the most difficult job in sports, in my opinion. It's my opinion. And you're having to read coverages, and things are moving a million miles an hour. You're trying to process what you're seeing. Also, people are trying to hit you, right? And these are the biggest people on the field that are trying to hit you, and things are constantly moving within the pocket, right? And so there's a challenge there as well. I think, um, just so inherently in terms of you know playing the position overall. But that's what all the training and coaching and development and why people pick Steve Sarkisian and AJ Millie. That's the reason why we're doing this, and we're seeing really good quarterback play from various people in the country. So we should. Michael Penix looks like he can navigate a pocket and throw a deep ball. Those are facts.
Yeah.
Drake May, Kill, again, these are the guys that are the Sam Hartmans of the world. I don't think they have trouble with these things per se. They're strengths of theirs. So we've got to elevate our ball game.
So I'm just hoping and praying that this is like you remember when CJ Stroud really started taking over the Ohio State offense and
True.
they played Oregon
Yeah.
and they just he looked terrible.
And even the Minnesota game, he was shaky.
Yeah, and I'm hoping because Quinn is still 19, right? I know, because you're gonna go back to the rankings.
Here's the other
Yeah.
thing. No, but here's the other thing with Stroud too. The Stroud, you brought up those examples with Stroud.
Yeah.
The difference with Stroud is Stroud had not played football at that level in terms of experience. Quinn Ewers has a season of experience under his belt. I don't care about his age anymore. He's played a lot. He's played enough football for me. I'm seeing people do a whole bunch of stuff in various places with less experience. Period. And look competent. You played a whole season. Now you were injured, things happen, get it, it's a complex scheme. But you also got weapons that people don't have. You have Xavier Worthy. You know how many teams would kill to have Xavier Worthy? Just Xavier Worthy? You have Jonte Cook. You have Jordan Whittington. You have Jatavian Sanders. So that's the other thing that's frustrating. It's like you also get to be in an offense with all of the best playmakers one could ask.
And that's why I brought up the CJ Stroud one, and because he had Garrett Wilson, who's arguably better than Xavier Worthy. He had Chris Olave, who's arguably better than Jordan Whittington.
Oh, no. That wide receiver, the Ohio State receiver room is one of one.
Yes. And that's what I'm saying. He had bumps and bruises, and I know it's a 1 year difference, but still, I mean, you had players that are different. I'm not saying that you shouldn't feel the way you're feeling about it. You should be upset about it. However, you can also think that there's another way behind it. I mean, there's improvement to be made behind it.
Mm-hmm. And the beauty of it, Trent, to your point, he has a great opportunity
right away,
right next week,
right away. Yeah,
because it's Bama week now. All this, these are our immediate thoughts and reactions. We'll go for a few more minutes and then we'll wrap up here. But it's Bama week. I think we'll look back at this one more time as we rewatch the game and really have some even more concrete opinions on things. But then we got to move on. And at the end of the day, if he goes out there and he beats Alabama at Tuscaloosa and he looks good, a lot of this doubt will go away. Even regardless of the red flags and the things he can't do, we will talk about what he can do. And I want to have conversations about what he can do and build the offense around what he can do. But what this offense needs, in my opinion, is just a quarterback that can distribute the ball to the playmakers. You got too many people, and you can kind of see they opened up trying to be creative and open and, 11 personnel and all this type of stuff. And then when they start struggling, they go right back to 12. That's where Sark is comfortable. He went right back to the 12 personnel, 2 receivers on the field, Or run some bubble screens.
I personally don't
And
care if we have the conversations of can do or can't do, as long as we keep winning. To tell you the truth,
yeah,
I could care less. I mean, I want him to ball out, but if he still manages the game to the point where we win every single game and our defense is still lights out, that's playing complimentary football in my eyes.
Marlon said, "Let's talk about the defense." Marlon, what? I mean, let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. What do in terms of today? I'm asking a different question. After today, how you if you're the defense, you probably feel really really good heading into next week. I would say net right. Like, um, I think if you're the defense, you feel as though our communication's good. I think the great thing about next week is if I'm PK, I feel like I have a lot of options with whatever because you're gonna have to deal with this radical athlete, Jalen Milrow.
And that's why you go all in on a player like Anthony Hill or David Binda, who can actually he
Try to
can
mirror some of
mirror
that stuff.
him
Yeah.
and watch him. Just be the spy. That's why you do that. And I feel PK will have a very good game plan for it. I do. And there's certain things that we watched, and we just watched the highlight clips, which YouTube TV, awesome job.
YouTube TV's been killing it.
Yeah, they
killing the game. Right?
we missed most of the Alabama game, and they have the top plays for there. We watched it. Certain things that we saw on Alabama, like their right side of their offensive line is not very strong.
Yeah, they had Alabama right side offensive line. This is just middle.
Yeah.
Some of the things we observed Middle Tennessee State. They had some issues. They were getting home a little bit on Jalen. Now Jalen also they had the bad snap, but this is where Texas has to be careful. And Marlon, I'm trying to answer your question about the defense because I think this is a fun topic, especially in regards to next week. This is what scares me. They have the bobbled snap. Things backward. Jalen picks it up.
And he scores a touchdown.
But it's the way it's the manner, it's the explosiveness. He's the fastest guy on the field. He takes one misstep, one bad angle. We have to be, I'm going to keep saying it, we have to be buttoned up. And we were today. My concern, and this is something that I've asked a few people, and I'm going to ask the chat. With what we will see with Milrow next week, who's the last pure, just athletic, monsters running quarterback? I'm not talking about mobility in terms of the Frank Harrises of the world and guys that are really, or Bryce Young, right? Bryce Young, I would say, is very athletic and mobile.
He has escapability.
He has escapability, but he's not trying to run. He's not going to run for a 50-yard touchdown on zone read.
Yeah.
When's the last time we faced that type of guy? Is it Caleb Williams?
I don't even think that he's that.
I don't even think Caleb Williams is that type of player. But when they put him in the game, my thing is we haven't, because of the nature of our conference. We played Adrian Martinez. I guess he runs. Who else have we played that runs around like that?
In my eyes, it wasn't under this staff. It was under Tom Herman's staff. It was with Kyler Murray. That's the last.
Jalen Daniels
with Kansas.
Yeah, Kansas quarterback. Jalen Daniels ain't moving with the type of juice Jalen Milrow is moving with.
That's why I say Kyler Murray.
I think that's a good. Yeah. This is a similar type of player. I see what he's saying though. Kyler had. So y'all can talk crap trash all you want to about Kyler. That's fine. I don't care. I'm not a Kyler fan. Kyler first step though is that's the type of same thing, right? It turned into a punt return against us in the
when we were whooping their ass in the Cotton Bowl. He had a 70-yard touch, up the sideline.
It looked like a punt return. Yes. That's what I'm talking about, right? I'm not talking about guys that can run around or whatever and all this type of stuff. Jalen Hurts was very good. Yes, that's a good. Jalen Hurts is
to me he's not dynamic. He's more so if it's open, he's gone. If he's open, he's gone. He's not making Jalen Hurts. He's not making cuts and things like that. Like what Milrow will do. Milrow will throw some Lamar Jackson moves on you.
Yeah. So that's gonna be. I will say this though for PK, Jeff Choate, this whole defensive staff. This is a fun challenge to me.
This is where you make your money.
This is where you make your money because they're not trying to run tempo and run a gajillion plays and try to like out cardio you. They're trying to line up and play football, right? And they're going to be physical. And I thought our defense was as physical as we could have asked them to be today, quite frankly. Whether it was Murph, T. Sweat's energy was great today. We talked about Alfred Collins earlier. I think the defense is up for the challenge next week.
Vernon Broughton body looks better. His body looks better. So. Byron Murphy's there. I don't know if you mentioned him or not, but
Murph played good. Murph played good early, and then he got those are guys that came in with professional effort, got the work done early, and then and even our edge guys. Like one guy I saw today, he didn't play a whole lot, but I saw. Did anybody see Javon Tapp snaps?
Yeah, I saw.
Because I thought he was violent. Mm-hmm. I thought he had violent hands.
That was a scouting report though coming out of high school,
and I was impressed with him. He had a solo tackle in there.
I hate his number, by the way.
The 17.
His number is terrible.
We gotta get that brother a better number. Yes, guys, the DBs look good. I thought across the board, Bug Thompson was really good. I thought in coverage, Malik Muhammad I told you guys, that's one thing I think I nailed before the season and a lot of my content that I've been, whether talking to you or just anywhere people have asked me to talk about Texas football. I've told everybody, Malik Muhammad's he's put himself in a position where he's too good to keep off the field. Especially when you say, hey, we're to the field side, here, go play man coverage.
Shout out to him, by the way, too.
Oh, yeah.
He made my son's day.
Very, very nice young man after the game, too. I thought Terrence Brooks looked like he made a play early on. Didn't hear much from him after that, but because just wasn't really being challenged. But when he did get challenged, he answered the call. Did Ryan Watts get any action? Did they work his way? Or I'm okay with no news is good news.
That means,
I don't think he got any.
That means people don't want to throw your side, in my eyes.
Y'all tell me. I might need to go back and watch the film, but I don't think they worked anything to Watts' side.
Touch on Catalan too, because you said it best when we were driving home about him.
I don't know how many snaps Catalan played today, but one thing that really impressed me was when he was in there with Derek Williams in particular. He really went out of his way to make sure that the communication was sound, and they were just constant communication in the defensive backfield.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why you saw guys were balanced when they had to come downhill, when they had to switch certain things, and somebody had to pick up. If they were playing straight man, it's like, hey, I got your help over top. Like, and I think that's one benefit of sitting so close to the field. We're right there, like as close as you can be, and we're seeing them really communicate. And I really was impressed with Catalan, just with the younger guys that were in there. Michael Taffy as well. Like when he was in there with it was another young guy that was back there. Even Jalen Gilbo, when Jalen Gilbo got in the game, just everybody is so well doing a great job just communicating, making sure our coverages are set, we're lined up, we know who we're helping. If somebody's blitzing, I know I'm going to replace.
So important,
right?
So I want to touch on Catalan. I know a lot of people were like, he's an injury case, things like that. I was excited to get him
killing me.
Just because of that, just because of what you said, his communication. And I knew we were going to Tuscaloosa, and he's played there before. We need someone who can communicate in that type of environment, because we saw the last time we went to a hostile environment what happened to us. We got the shit kicked out of us.
It was Friday night.
Yes,
he was part of it.
Yes, and he was a part of it. So he gives us that extra mental toughness, I think, back there. Oh, what did Marlon say?
Marlon's making a comment, I think, about us seeing stuff close to the field. That's what he said.
Oh, he got money?
Bruh is funny.
This guy.
Bruh is funny. Let's see.
I'm lucky, and I get my brother's T-ring tickets. So
Right.
there's that.
Got the hookup. Yours isn't as good as. Hey! We're not doing all this right now. That's one thing I'm not going to do. I said my piece about some of the things I noticed. I'm not here to have a quarterback controversy. I will say, if he plays like he did today, if that's what we're going to get the whole season, there will be a quarterback controversy. Oh, I'll say it.
Mm-hmm.
But that's to me, that's a leap I'm not ready to take after one game this year. I got to see what he does. Like the Bama game's his. That's his. Honestly, to start Big 12 play, that's his. Now, if this is something where also Steve Sarkisian got to be honest with himself, are you costing your team football games? Because I thought the goal was to win the Big 12.
Yeah,
and leave in style. So you also need to do if you're Steve Sarkisian and you have a defense like this,
you can't waste it. Don't waste it.
Don't waste this defense.
Don't waste it.
So do whatever you need to do as a coach. I'm serious. We don't have time to wait for one person when you know you got all the playmakers you need. Like I said before earlier, what Quinn Ewers needs to be is a distributor. Just get him the football. Not every throw needs to be perfect. You don't need to make every single NFL breadbasket throw. Just be the distributor, the point guard. If I ask you to throw a jump ball, throw a jump ball. Stop throwing. Don't try to look cute throwing back leg. And, I'm trying to anticipate. Like you're not Patrick Mahomes. That's okay. Like just be a distributor because you have everything you need there. This right here. I love you. All right, me. Hey, look. This is you me. We've been rapping about this. Vanilla plays has nothing to do with poor execution. Do y'all hear me? Vanilla plays, I don't care what does vanilla plays mean, right? Because you're basically saying that we didn't block well because we're running vanilla plays. We miss throws or we miss reads or we couldn't move the ball because we're being vanilla. But I see Michigan being vanilla. Michigan scoring 80-yard touchdowns on inside zone. That's it's got nothing to do with scheme. And honestly, anytime Sark really wanted to dial something up, he got somebody wide open. I don't want to hear about vanilla plays when Xavier Worthy's running a crosser and he's wide open. The quarterback puts his head down, trying to spin out, and then he falls down. That's nothing to do with being vanilla. That yes, they run jet sweep with Worthy every week though, man. Like that's their offense. Vanilla. See, that's such to me. If you're saying vanilla, that's a BS excuse. That's what that. If you're saying we couldn't be better today because we were vanilla on defense, but we were great. Like Tran confirmed, we didn't run nothing exotic. We were running our normal defensive stuff. We just executed. I don't want to hear about you're being vanilla when you're not even executing what I'm calling.
Can't even read that.
Oh.
No plays doesn't.
Vanilla plays doesn't excuse why we can't pick up stunts and delay blitzers. Thank you, sir. Or the QB can't throw deep without reverting to bad habits. There's more to that than just the plays that are being called. The only thing that's when you say vanilla plays, that's just what plays you're calling. Trey, you coach. You play some of these teams where you're like, you know what, I'm just going to run. I'm sure you've gone into games where you're like, I'm only going to run 2 coverages today.
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, whatever your intention is, it's a tournament. You got to save some stuff. But those 2 coverages you called, you expect them to run
Oh, I snap at the book coverage, even if they don't throw their routes. I watch it. I watch everything because luckily for me, it's 5-on-5, and I could
Right.
seriously like watch and know where everyone's supposed to be at a given time. Um, but absolutely not. Like you're required to execute. You practice for so long,
Yeah.
and you've practiced those plays over and over and over and over again. And it wasn't like you said, people weren't schemed open. We just didn't execute. That's it. Like there's
All
even
I see is a lack of execution all over the place. Run and pass plays. It's not because I should be like. I hate to keep going back to the
the two
fourth and
plays that I
one.
feel like we executed on were the Jonathan
Fumble.
Brooks.
Oh yeah, that was
That was
right.
because it really did have a lot of window dressing where everyone thought we were going this way, and then he just turned around, did his little pivot, kept his balance actually, and then made the pass. Then also the little seam route to Jatavian. One thing that I was really upset at is I even called it towards in the game was that I think he was Jatavian lined up in the slot, but it was kind of like really close to the line where he could have been blocking as well. And I said, "Hey, the out is open on Jatavian," and he was running the out actually, but he threw it when his back was turned and nailed him right in the head.
Yeah.
Nailed him right in the head, and I'm like, just wait. Once he plants, that's when you should throw it. Like wait once he plants, and that was what made it laughable for me.
All right. I'm gonna call it.
Can I give a shout out one more time to the defensive backs? First time in a long time I've seen physical play from defensive backs. Like even when they catch it over the
Throughout
middle,
the
they're
whole
their
game.
on their hands,
Yes,
smacking at the
I
ball,
agree.
fighting for it. I saw 3 pass breakups that I saw, where it's over the middle, which
Continue fighting through the
yes,
ball.
I
Yeah.
I love that. And I didn't see a ton of missed tackles, which is very refreshing. I'm hoping it continues that way.
I agree with you.
I like that comment, Vader RT. Texas beat Rice 58-0 in 2021 and went 5-7. It's truth.
Look, Casey Thompson and them boys lit Rice up. To be fair, though, to be fair to this comment, I hear what you're saying. Casey and them, they went crazy on Rice. Uh, that was also at a point in the season. I think they were. Was that before the TCU game? That was later in the season. Is my point. That was after. I think it was after Arkansas. I think he got to play Rice after the Arkansas game.
I'm sure it was either that or first game.
No, we didn't play. We didn't play them first game in 2012. We played Louisiana. Billy Napier.
Oh yeah,
We played Louisiana Lafayette in the first game, who was ranked at the time.
and we beat them 44 something.
We beat them,
yeah.
But then we went to Arkansas.
And you got
whooped. I think Rice was
around.
our third game that year because that was the first game Casey Thompson started, if I'm not mistaken. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments.
Yeah, because what's his name was hurt. Hudson Card.
Yeah, he got benched.
He got benched. That's right.
After the Arkansas. But so different context versus a season opener at home. With a much more experienced team. That was Sark's third or fourth game as head coach. He's been the head coach now. This is year 3. This is. You're right. Maybe we shouldn't put that much on the result. We definitely gonna look at Bama next week. He said we had our manhood beat out of us, Arkansas.
It's truth, man.
It's just funny how he said it. It's manhood beat out of us, Arkansas. Y'all funny. Yeah, okay. I was just trying to make sure my memory wasn't.
We try to forget that year.
The sun didn't zap out the rest of my head. Thank you, sir. Where's this? I cannot emphasize this enough. This is why I'm upset with the offense. This is why I give them a D. I don't. It's the execution of the play. We can have a different conversation. We know enough about football, all of us here as a collective group, to know when we can tell our guys are good, but we don't like the plays are restricting them, or we feel as though they're not taking advantage of our personnel. Right? That's a completely different conversation.
Yeah.
Right? We know we can block people, we know we can run by people, but for whatever reason we're running something that is not conducive to the players we have. That's not an execution problem. Well, we have an execution problem. We've been had an execution problem. We got people wide open that don't get the ball like they should. We got people that don't make blocks when they should. We have like Malik Murphy's group. Talk about that. When they got in.
No way. 164. No way.
So they try to put that on TV.
Your TV's lying. The people on TV are lying.
I will say, I mean, I've never struggled this much with heat like I did today. So the sun beat me up bad. I took an L today, man. But we get up, we still standing. I was
Jay Tran thought ahead.
Jay Tran learned from previous.
Had a Yeti waiting for us in the car. It's the truth, I did.
What quarter? We're about to go watch this game, the end of these games, because we want to have fun and enjoy our evening as well.
I am enjoying my
yeah. But I want to. We should.
This is awesome. Just to have you back here with me. As
I know we haven't done a live together in so long. Everything's been virtual. I mean, I could put a game on here. I mean, you see, we're there's the pop now that I've seen the studio that you and the fellas have set up here. The possibilities are endless.
My hood ass.
This is a good setup.
It's so ghetto rigged.
No, man. This is way better than my office. No, now let me go to I can go to YouTube TV from here, and at least why is it doing that? I was doing some BS. But I would if I had done it in advance.
I can put it on this one. So
we can see.
So we can watch
some of the game. Yeah, because I would like to see some of the games that y'all are talking about while I'm talking. Not to be distracted from providing content. But it would be refreshing too.
I need to get 2 TVs on each side of here. On here. Yeah. Just to have us we could be our own producers as well.
That is true. Richard, horns up for
hey. Shout out to Bert Auburn. I thought he played well. That 56-yarder. I thought they set him up for failure on that one. I've always thought that his max was 50-51 range, and I guess that at this point they're just like, hey, let's try it, see if we can get some extra points. But the only bad thing that I think he did was the free kick out of bounds. I thought that was the only bad thing that he had.
Was he the one that did the free kick, or was
I have no idea.
Because Will Stone's the kickoff.
Is he? Okay, yeah, so Will Stone did that. So even Bert Auburn didn't even do that bad. So
yeah, Bert Auburn doesn't have a 56-yard leg.
No, he doesn't. That's why I was like, why are we doing this?
That's not on him. That's out of his range. His range is like 50, 52 on a good day.
Oh man, he barely made that 49er. He's got 56 in him.
Nope. KYP, know your personnel, right? Something we try to, Bill Belichick says sometimes, I'm not going to ask you to do something I know you're not capable of doing. Execution comes down to you run 50% of what you prepped and don't know why. What's the comes on OTF? I know vanilla's a trigger word. It is in the case of, I didn't think it had anything to do. We didn't score 37 points today because we didn't run better plays. To me, the plays that were called were fine to execute. And sometimes you got to make a play like that. That has nothing to do with vanilla or anything. Like I'm frustrated that I have a quarterback that is so immobile that anytime somebody comes near him, he can't avoid any type of person in the backfield to make something happen. Which is again to me that's in 2023 football. It's a big deal. You got to be able to move at least laterally. So that's why I'm concerned. But you're right, Vanilla. You're right. Kill my video as a trigger word.
Oh, we're playing Wyoming too, so they're playing a common opponent.
Yeah, let's do that. No, we appreciate you guys. This is the funnest part. To me, the funnest thing about the channel is the post game reactions when I'm either too mad and the chat or you walks me back, or vice versa. I say something that gets everybody riled up, or you like say like we're talking like this in a win because of our expectations. By the way, I know we won the game today.
Both of us predicted that we're going to be 10-2. We're not going to be 10-2 if we play like this. It's the truth.
That's boom. It's as simple as that.
It's the truth. It's the truth. I do. I'm not doing the skies falling like everyone else. Quinn needs to be benched like right away.
No.
That's where our fan base goes a little bit too off the rails. One bad game equates to hey that we need someone else. We need someone else, and I mean you're gonna have bad games, unfortunately, and that's the way of the world. Sneak in Justin Tucker, kick 65 yarders. Yeah, Texas Tech could go like 1-11, 1-10, and then the last game against us, they would just go all out because Joey McGuire wants to beat us.
Quentin, if I bring you on the show, first off, you gotta reach out to me. Hit me on Twitter or something so I can send. I can't send a StreamYard link publicly, so you gotta hit me up if you want me on the show. That's number one. Like whether it's email, Twitter DM, Facebook message.
You will get blown up by 50,000 different people.
I mean, I don't mind letting people on the show, but hey, don't get us in trouble. Don't come on. I don't care if you want to come on here and say something we disagree with about an evaluation or whatever. I'm fine with that, but you can't and be able to articulate your point, right? I don't mind people coming on the show, but if you're going to come on the show, there's rule you from a YouTube standpoint. That's all I'm saying. We just got to be careful with stuff like that.
Yeah.
If you want to be on the show, send me some sort of DM so I can send you a link and I can invite guests and we can come on and have a conversation.
Yeah, Quentin, if I was running the show, I'd let you come on and go crazy. just to amuse me. Just to amuse me.
We can't have it's not as free as a faceless Twitter Spaces, right?
It's true.
Where we start, and I'm not, I enjoy my Twitter Spaces, but there's more rules and parameters here. So if you want to come on the show, send me a DM or something.
So I want to get Surfer Boy on when we do the SEC round one.
Guys, if you're interested, and this is to anybody, if you want to come on in a post game, send me something. Have a setup so that people can hear you and understand you. Turn the show off in the back. Make sure you're not naked or something stupid to get us in trouble, and we can talk ball. I'm right here. Trey's right here. I mean, they're not. But I appreciate you asking because you have been supporting the show for a minute, and I'm grateful for you. I was told not to look at the PFF grades from some of you guys in the comments, and then I was told by some people that went after Chris. I can't wait for Chris to come back on the show. Not Chris with a K. I'm talking about my buddy Chris and Bashan from the Unfiltered group because Chris said it very nicely too. Chris wasn't even trying to be like argumentative or anything. He was just like, "Hey, I think our run blocking isn't very good. Left from left, like we don't have that punch that I see other teams with, and we struggle. And I feel like we struggle to get seals and." People went crazy in the comments after him. So now What we gotta say today?
He's right. Ooh, false start. Oh, sorry. Sorry. And what did Landon have to say?
Steve, after that Arkansas game, have you felt like I did something wrong? Oh man, y'all are hilarious. Y'all are hilarious. Plug your show, Quinn. I love to help you out. Yeah, Travis Hunter, what he did today. How many snaps did Travis Hunter play?
You told me 130.
Like 100.
You said
It
100
didn't even
because I was driving on 183. If y'all in Austin, and I disregarded the safety of my own children in the car and looked at it and was like, "Did you say 130?"
It sounded fake.
I was like, "This is." And then you reminded me that he's playing both ways.
Right.
So I was like, "Oh, and that makes sense."
I'm trying to see if I can find. It's not gonna show it on here, but I mean, he was unbelievable today.
Is Wyoming at altitude as well, or no?
How many people? Like if you were in high school and you had 11 catches, you played the whole game, and you finished the game with 11 catches for $119, lost a whole bunch of dudes, and then also had tackles and an interception in the same game. You would feel like you're the man at the school.
You were Jordan Whittington.
Like
Jordan,
I'm. This guy's doing this in the D1.
Yeah, he's doing it at Power 5, D1 level.
Right. He's getting
the kid's gonna get beaten down, man. Like his body's gonna start breaking.
I know. I don't want to see him play that many snaps every week. Absolutely,
it takes a toll on his body.
But to see a person do it,
it's very impressive.
It was like Shawn Michaels Iron Man match, WWE. Like we go wrestle for. Like it was literally an Iron Man match type. Like
for 97 minutes.
One of us is not gonna leave. Like the match ends when you can't walk. That's what the match ends. I feel like, and he's like, "Yo, I'm the most well conditioned machine in the country." I haven't seen anything like that. Like, oh boy, I think it was Gamble at Ohio State, like 20 years ago, that played both ways.
Miles Jack?
Miles Jack played both ways, but he was running back, linebacker. Like,
yeah. Which are still pretty physically tolling.
Yeah.
Physical toll on his body.
But it's the snap count for me.
Okay, so they're saying I didn't know that that Wyoming was the highest altitude in the country. I would think that like somewhere like Colorado would be. I didn't know that.
I'm gonna give Okay, so let's talk about DJ. So he said DJ was out there looking bad.
He was looking like he was hurt when he walked by us at the end of the game.
The brother looks a little heavy.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just be honest. I know he put on a lot of weight. I don't know. Like, I think there were times where I liked how he was pulling and trying to compete post snap through the snap. I say through the whistle, but he has some catching up to do, right? In terms of today, we saw some growing pains. He hasn't played a lot of football at this level, so it was a tough game today. We gotta, hopefully he. I think he's talented enough to continue to improve with reps. That's where I'm gonna leave it until I see like a recurring thing. But they also know that they needed to try to upgrade that spot, and Kyle Flood felt as though he wanted another big body next to Jake Majors in the middle, and try to have more of an interior push. And so I think Some people are definitely frustrated with some of the past pro sets, rightfully so. But we got to see. I mean, it's one game. He's still a really young player, and yeah, I don't think his body is in the perfect Calvin Banks type shape that he can be for a guard. I think DJ has some strides to make, and it was. I think he had a tough game,
Yeah,
in my opinion.
well, like I said, the interior offensive line I think had a tough game, to tell you the truth. But like I said, I think when he got injured later, I think it was in the third quarter or something like that when he got pulled off. I actually thought it was maybe a cramp at first, but when he walked by us, he was definitely laboring on his right side. So hopefully he's okay because, like you said, he needs those reps to get better and understand his responsibilities a little bit more. But if he's not healthy, someone else needs to step up.
Quentin, I appreciate you, brother. We gonna be all right. No, we gonna get you on here talking stuff, man.
Who's this?
Quentin, no, it's Quentin again.
Oh, okay.
Hey, Dez. I'm gonna get to Dez and I'm gonna get to Cook. Actually, let me go Cook and then Dez because y'all both saying some real stuff right now. So Cook said, I'm gonna start with Cook just because his comment was first. Steve Tran, I think DJ looked more stiff than heavy. He gained weight and lost flexibility. As of right now, that looked like, again, gotta watch it back. Especially because DJ was like a basketball player coming out of high school. He was so athletic. He was a guy that was going to come around the edge, find DBs, find linebackers, and clean it. Like he's athletic enough to do that. And I agree with the stiffness. Just what our eyes tell us, right? So, not player bashing or anything, just noticing certain things, and hopefully he can have a little bit more bend, and be able to get some of those reach blocks because he added a lot of weight. He's weight. I think they have
340,
340 something. That's heavy for him.
That's heavy for almost any human being, bro. It's like
right.
300.
Right. That's a good point. Sadly, this is all right. I'm with Dez. Dez is on my time where it's like, bro, we don't have time to be going through because this echoes so much of the Texas fan base. It's not even funny, and it's a rational part of the fan base. I'm not even calling anybody out. I think Dez is got a point here, right? In terms of we felt like we went through growing pains in 2021 to try to figure out the culture and the roster. Then last year, it's like, okay, well, we lost some games we shouldn't have lost because we were learning and growing and learning on the job. But now we feel like we got the right people. That's like, I ain't trying to hear that again in 2023. This is, oh gosh. Oh gosh. He said, this isn't all the job training, bro. You either know or you don't. All the job training was the last 2 seasons. Hey, it's real talk. I'm not putting that up. That's funny.
God damn.
I needed that laugh.
That was a good one. Danny, good one.
Danny. Yes, I was telling my buddy Kyle this. I saw that immediately when it happened. It was on the. Jake Major snapped after we didn't get that 4th and 1. He was cussing everybody out.
Good.
I was like, damn.
Good. I'd be pissed too. But guess what? They ran right behind your block too, bro. We went right up the middle. Right? Am I wrong about that?
Hey, but he was passionate about it, man. He said, man, they yeah, it was tough. Shout out to Ray Beckton though. Not for the 340. It is massive. Landis right. But shout out to Ray Becton. I didn't see anybody cramp.
No.
If you notice, as the game went on and it got hotter, the Rice guys were cramping, and they had more and more cramps as the game went on.
Yeah, they deal with the
You
same
told me,
heat and
you were on their side. You were in their side.
Yeah.
They had the pickle juice.
Yeah, they had the pickle juice. They were feeding the linemen a whole bunch of Sour Patch Kids. True story.
For salt.
Yeah, for the salt. And yeah, they were trying to do whatever they can. They were loading them up with Powerade. So I mean, and they were cramping big time.
And I don't think we had any of those issues on our sideline like Rice did. Now, granted, we sat on that side,
Yeah.
but they were. There was a lot. Guys were hot. Guys were like, you could tell guys were overheating. It was like Jesus, like they're trying to move around a little bit, but then they move around and fall down, like get the pickle juice. So I agree. It's too big.
Yeah.
It's too big. Plain and simple. And so, see, Landon, I'm glad Landon's here because he can give us the NFL perspective, right? Their NFL guys are not that big.
Nope.
You don't have three, like.
Usually like 320 is
you got. You're right. Right.
Is
right.
Is the prototypical size
and you're strong as hell.
for a guard. Yeah.
Right. We value strength
and leverage and bend. That's still gigantic. Like 340 is a lot.
Oh, man. I don't think I hear a whole bunch of excuses on here today. I know Tran and I disagree with a few things, but
not many excuses.
I don't think anybody's making excuses, and I think the consensus is everybody really likes how the defense played today. I think that's a consensus opinion. The only thing you could knock on the defense is that they did it against Rice. They have no control over that. They did
what they were supposed to do. I think even in our preview, I was like, I want to see the defense hold them to 10 points or less. That's what I said. And I feel like they held them to only 7
They
points.
checked every box you were looking for. They held them to 7 points. A lot of backups in there.
Yes, it was 10 technically, but that was the offense. They went for it on. They didn't get it on 4th and 1 at their own 30. That's conceding 3. What is that noise?
That was me.
Okay, I was like, what the hell?
No, I was moving my socks with my foot.
For some reason, I thought like one of my kids snuck in here or something like that. It's just moving around.
We've had some trouble. We've had some trouble with the kids infiltrating the room. Des is being blunt. I love it tonight. No. Oh man. I'm sure you guys have touched on the 100 yards. No, yeah, I don't think we hit on the stats on how good the defense was. I think at one point Rice had only had like 2 first downs.
Yeah.
Or something crazy like that.
I looked up in like the 4th quarter, it was at 4 first downs. And I'm like,
that's exceptional.
Excuse me.
I mean, it was 3 and out, 3 and out, 3 and out. Interception. 3 and out, 3 and out.
Interception. Fumble.
Yeah. Like, that's what you want.
Turnover on 4th and 1. Like, if we play like that every single week, I'll be happy. We'll have a shot.
What do you think about this question?
No, because the defense played with the same beat. And they did not play poorly.
They got to sub, though. They play way more people on defense. The big boys. So Trans looking at me.
I don't care.
I
don't care. They've been playing it was over 100 for like 67 days this whole year. They've been playing in this for a while. They should be acclimated to this weather, and they weren't cramping like you were stating.
They didn't, yeah.
And from what I saw from Rice's defense. They did not switch a lot on the defensive line, a ton.
Rice defense physically was hanging in there. They were hanging in there, especially at the line of scrimmage.
Mm-hmm.
They got a bunch of stalemates. You know, y'all don't want me out there.
Like I said, you can give me one play every 3 to 4 series. I'll hold down my spot. But after that one play, I'm double tapping my helmet and I'm off.
No, it wasn't pretty, but you're right. Hook him.
Just put me at the line and bull rush real quick.
Hook him. That's my guy.
Hell yeah, he is to do the like.
Yeah.
I don't even like football. I just hate OU, right? His shirt.
That's my guy. Yeah, that was a bad drop by Jay Brooks at the goal line. You can't drop touchdowns, especially when you're trying to get a starting job. You compete for that role, right? You know, for whatever reason, Cedric Baxter got to go out there. You know, they say that he won the job in camp, or if you believe some of the conspiracy theories that are out there. But regardless, you know, can't have that. Now that to me, that's the also. I've seen Jay Brooks do so much good that I'm not going to beat him up about that. I mean, he got to catch the ball. He knows that shit, right? Like everybody knows that. Like it'd be different if it was like a recurring issue. I don't think that's a recurring issue for him, at least from what I've seen. Yeah. No, the guys, like the only people that got the injuries. My thing is, if they're not going to protect you from every single injury, but stuff like dealing with the sun today, also having so many guys that can come in and play with explosiveness throughout 4 quarters, that is a testament to your strength and conditioning program. That is a testament to having younger guys who are already strong and can keep up with the physicality that can deal with, you know, playing against bigger guys that they may not be used to because they've also been in the weight room in a short period of time making their strides under Teray Becton. So I really was impressed by that. No, I didn't see, you know, and if they had to come out, they had to come out, but I didn't see anybody cramping. There was times in the fourth quarter, you can say you can feel the heat. The Rice kids couldn't make it back to the sideline. They had to go down.
Yeah.
Right? We didn't have guys like that I was seeing. .315 is the average NFL lineman. Don't pay attention. I know it's hard, guys. We will deal with OU when that time comes. I know they put on. It looked like fireworks today. They played one of the worst teams I've ever seen in my life. Like beyond bad. Now they executed, but I do recall OU was going gangbusters the first few weeks last season as well, especially in that Nebraska game where they looked. I was like, damn, Brett Venables already got them cooking. I think you got to take a lot of these things, just like we talk about some of our stuff,
Week by week.
Yeah, because OU's schedule is so different. We play Alabama next week. Who do they play? I don't even know who OU plays.
I have no idea.
Dallas Jesuit? I mean, who they playing? I mean, I don't know. So we gotta
Salute.
Hey, man, Dez is still going. Dez. The brother's probably a little overweight. All right, let's just be honest. We gotta.
SMU. We're playing SMU.
Oh, it's close. Nah, SMU actually looked okay today.
With Stone.
Yeah, Preston Stone.
Yeah.
Texas
it's a button up, bruh.
Nah, it's just a button up. Yeah, McCaffrey earned that touchdown. Should Texas be worried about Wyoming? Wyoming should be worried about Texas.
We should be worried about just Alabama. Take it 1 week at a time. I see where you're coming from. Just like a letdown game right after an emotional game with Alabama. Hopefully, it's an emotional win after Alabama, and then that.
That guy looks like he's dead. Who is that?
Petrie
He's not. He's moving.
might have just gotten a flash knockout.
Jeez. Just laying there lifeless for like 30 seconds. Nash said, sure, it wasn't thrilled, but there's enough there. I'm fine. Yeah, we're moving on to Bama.
Yeah.
I think we talked through this with a lot of you guys. You guys, look. 80, yeah. He missed the blocks. But are we going? I don't know enough about A.D. Mitchell at Georgia to tell you how good of a blocker he was. If that's a red flag from a standpoint of we shouldn't run bubble screens when he's in the game, or I don't know. You would think that a guy with his size and frame would be ideal, honestly, but I also agree with this. Prime example, Xavier Worthy. He's blocking a bigger guy. I forgot who caught that pass. I forgot who caught that pass. It was a really nice play. It was like a screen. But he went and got hands engaged, helmet on helmet. It was just, he was moving his feet like he was in the sled. Like that, like you said, effort.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, there's a technique to it, yeah. But from a standpoint of just like, I want to go and explode with power, right?
That's how you move up draft boards, by the way. If you can,
When you start showing, I'm not just the guy here to catch passes. And
no, I don't think. I mean, Quinn has the ultimate safety blanket in Jatavian Sanders, in my eyes.
this is one thing where I will say, I will concede that you could kind of keep this in the garage until a certain opponent is the Jatavian Sanders thing. Because to me, I don't know. I'm a big matchup guy.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
I don't think anybody can match up with him, so I don't know why he's not getting spam more. I don't get it. I think he blocks. He does such a good job with his assignments that he's clearly earned the right to have more opportunities. Now, and when he did get one, like you said, old boy was scared.
Yeah.
But maybe this is one where it's like, hey, we're gonna have JT just do the. But I don't even know if I can say that because this has been going on since halfway through last season. If you remember, when the first like 4 or 5 games, this is totally off the dome. Through OU, it felt like Jatavian Sanders was a regular part of the passing game. For whatever reason, his blocking responsibilities have just gone up and up and up.
Mm-hmm.
Or they run him on these safety valve routes or tight end screen, like the stuff he is getting asked around. And I'm like, where's the seam route? Like, where's the cool stuff that the tight ends get to do? Why doesn't he get to run this stuff anymore? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm tripping and he is running it and I'm not, and I'm missing it. My eye is not.
You're not.
It's sharp. But
You're fine. You're not.
Why don't we?
What is this?
Oh, nice. Got that replay up. Trey and I about to go have some conversations. I agree with this. Kool-Aid couldn't hold Jatavian with some reps last year, but the refs decided that you're allowed to tackle people when they're trying to go catch the football. I agree with that. I do think Alabama defensive backs are going to play better this year, though. I think they are reading. We talked about our defensive communication being better and sound. I see the same thing with Bama. My nose is running. I need a tissue or something.
One over here.
You got a tissue?
No, I'd have to go get one.
I can go grab one.
Cool.
Talk to the people real quick.
So what we were talking about was he thinks that the secondary play has to be better because they're without Will Anderson, they're not as strong from a blitzing standpoint. So coverage has to be tighter because if it's not, I feel if Quinn plays as well as he played last year during the first half, I think he'll shred apart their defensive backs. I know they're going to a more let's line up and pop you in the mouth and go more old school a little bit, but sometimes that doesn't work, especially if they're not used to it from a snap count perspective, where they're gonna start. That's when you're gonna start seeing people get a little bit tired. Let's see, done processing. Going through these. Everyone's about the Wyoming just because they're playing great. Quinn is QB Jonathan Gray. Why is that?
Thanks, BA.
I don't know what happened. This is ridiculous.
What are you looking for? Oh, you're just scrolling down.
I'm just scrolling down to something that catches my attention.
Yeah.
Man, we're far behind.
Yeah, so that link, that email. Let's see.
Who's that?
Quinn. All right, Quentin, I'm gonna send him a link. Where are we gonna get sound? On the TV, or
That's gonna be rough.
do we want to do it into the?
We'd have to do it through the headphones, I assume.
What about where is it playing from? Is it going from there? Let's just try it.
I feel like it's gonna echo. You might have to put on the headphones, and I wouldn't be able to hear it. And I don't have a splitter right now for the headphones.
No, no worries. Sleep is a luxury.
Dallas Turner's still in the league. I mean, it's still at Bama.
Okay. Yeah, Dallas Turner's still there.
Yeah.
Mark B out in Guam. Justin, I owe you a video, man. I have a lot of thoughts, especially now that the rematch
is here.
Exercise. So I apologize. I owe you. I know I owe you a video there. This is good. That's how you want to play football, honestly.
Takes driving with 2 minutes.
The fighting Josh Allen's. Look at. Man. Give me that. Okay, 54. I hope you're right, man. I hope you're right.
What is?
We are better than we were last year. Bama is not better than they were last year.
We shall see.
Where do you plug your headphones into?
It's into the. It's. I think it's already in there.
Where?
Is it? It would just be plugged into the front of the workstation. Right there. Up there.
Oh, that one?
No, right there. The workstation right there.
Oh, gotcha.
That's where you'd put it.
Nah, for college it's causing problems, man.
I mean, if you're gonna throw those on, I can't hear him. So.
All right. Well,
yeah,
Quinn. What we'll do.
I gotta figure this out. I'm sorry.
Now that I got your email, well, the only thing we have is if we play the audio through the TV when you come
it's gonna echo through the mic.
But what we'll do, I got you. Now that you reached out to me, you're a man of your word. I respect it. We will get you on the show.
Mm-hmm.
Let's just link up because this is Bama week anyway, so we're gonna be talking to a whole bunch of people. So you'll get an opportunity to get on here, brother. All right. And like you said, you make content. I'd love to see it so that you can plug your stuff, and we all grow together on this platform as content creators. Speaking of which, I am. What else we got here? So yeah, man, this is just our post game reactions. Y'all know how it is. We're gonna sign off here because we're at 2 hours, and we've said a lot, but the energy in here, shoot. We
were only expecting to do an hour, to tell you the truth.
And you guys got us turning on Wyoming, Texas Tech, and all this stuff. But I'm glad to be back. I'm glad football's back. We are holding the team to a high expectation, and that's what we're talking about. But I'm not. Am I going to bed upset? No, I will sleep like a baby, especially after that damn sun. I'm going to bed knowing that I think this team is very, very talented. Despite the red flags I see, they got work to do, and there's no excuses. There's no more excuses on. If you're making excuses, just tell me that this is an 8-4 team again. Yeah. And that's the program. That's where we're just at as a program. And because I don't want to waste this hot defense, I think this defense can play.
Oh yeah,
and I don't want to waste it. I don't. Not with. I see NFL players that are freshmen, sophomore, juniors, seniors, all levels of it, right? That are out there ready to hunt. And I see guys on offense like Jaden Blue, like Xavier Worthy, that they're just like, yo, just get us the rock. We got you from here, coach.
Yeah.
just get us the rock. So we can figure those things out. We'll be very, very difficult to beat. But I appreciate you guys. Again, shout out to Last Stand Hats.
Yeah, that hat is awesome. I'm not even just doing this because the roll, but when I saw him walking around with it, I was like, that hat's fire.
Yeah. We're going to be talking Deion and recruiting later in the week. because it's too big of a storyline in college football.
It's not that big.
Uh,
It's not Texas. Who cares? Right?
but in all seriousness, I will be talking on that because I mean, it's a guy for me as a kid growing up. I had a Deion Sanders
I
poster. I had a
love.
Deion Sanders poster on my wall. So hell yeah, I was very.
I wanted to be 21. I wanted to be 21, and that,
And then he had
that's why.
Shiloh out there.
That's why I switched it over to 12. People don't know that. That's why.
Really?
Yep. That's why I switched my number over to 12. And then when I was a freshman, someone took my 12. Quarterback took my 12. So I had to switch over to 20 back there. But no, I mean, you and I were talking about that. Like some of the cool things that he's done just to win over the locker room. Dude, it's awesome.
Yeah. But a good day in college football. Tomorrow, we might be talking tomorrow because tomorrow is a heavyweight fight. LSU, FSU. So, depending on that, we know last year's game was a classic. So we'll see how that plays out. So college football week is not even over with yet, but great start just to, us being back with our post-game reactions. And obviously we have Bama next week. So it's Bama week now, officially.
It's still UT week. It's still Texas week. We're going to hit it. We got them.
Horns always up, y'all. We got a dub.